So that was eventful. Yeah, nothing happened. It's a very boring race. The eventfulness came from cars going around the track. And yeah, I think NASCAR should probably take road courses off. They're just not very good, you know? Nothing happens. There's no rivalries. There's no contact. There's no wrecks. There's no racing. Everyone runs in a line, you know? Formula 1 is way better, right? That Grand Prix in the morning was so much better. All right, guys, it is 5:50. So I have a dog that really wants to go on a walk. So I'm going to have to make this a little bit quicker than normal, as I usually do with the race reviews. But I know you guys will still enjoy it. If you did not watch this race, if you did not catch it, find a way. I'm not sure if you don't DVR it. I don't know how you rewatch it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure if you have Peacock, you can rewatch it like the day after. NBC streaming app. But yeah, if there's a way you could watch that, extended highlights on NBC really doesn't do justice on YouTube, you know, because they still miss a lot of things. Yeah, it was a crazy race. Let's get right into it, shall we? Should we all talk about what we want to talk about? Yeah? Okay, we'll talk about it. Kevin Harvick versus Chase Elliott 2.0. And yeah, okay, so essentially what happened was, well, Harvick just wrecked him. I mean, you could literally hear Harvick gas up the car and just and wreck him.
Let's take a look. You're clear.
Wow. Calculated move, definitely on purpose, and yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. As blatant as it gets, you could tell a lot of there were actually a lot of drivers, you know, who are not in the Cup Series that commented on it on social media, and they had the same idea. Listen, if you're, because you know, anytime Chase Elliott's in like this a controversy, and to be fair, in his young career he has been in a few, I think, it's always very biased because, you know, Elliott's fan base is like double the size of everyone else, like combined, which is a little bit annoying. But when you look, you have to look at this objectively, whether you're a Harvick fan or an Elliott fan, just as a motorsports fan, which I think you really should look at it objectively. It's just such a, there's just so many things you can't quite understand about it, and here's where I'm coming from. Go to Kevin Harvick's perspective. You're trying to win a championship. You're trying to make the next round. Why are you trying to make enemies? Like, this was my one of the things I always talk about when it comes to winning a championship in this format, where, you know, you could win or lose in one race at the end. You essentially can't have enemies. You need to make sure that you befriend or just have no issues with anyone. That's very, very important. Because if you have an issue with someone, they could, in this format, they could literally just wait for you to get to a championship race and wreck you. It's like, there's no penalty for it. You lose the championship. The one thing you have to do is not make enemies. So for Kevin Harvick, yes, he hasn't had the fastest car all year. Would he even make the championship race? You know, debatable. But why would you even do that to yourself? Why would you completely, blatantly wreck Elliott? And I just want to point out, I am recording this exact time, 5:53 p.m. I've not seen the post-race interviews. Harvick eventually crashed out. I haven't seen any comments from him. I don't know if they, I didn't see NBC do an interview. I was in and out of my phone watching the race, so I'm not sure if he did an interview or not. I was scrolling Twitter and I didn't see any comments from him. So if he tries to come out and say, like, it wasn't on purpose, well, like, dude, we all know in 2015 when you purposely wrecked everyone at Talladega, like the entire field, we know that was on purpose, and he lied about that. You can't lie about this. You just listen to the car audio. He gasses it up in a part of the track where you don't usually gas it up, and just runs right into the back of Elliott and sends him into the one part of the track where there's an actual wall there. You can send him off into a runoff area in multiple ways. If you send him into the chicane, he just stops, like he doesn't get wrecked. This is a calculated and planned move that Harvick thought about when Elliott got near him, and he said, well, in that corner, I can just hit him in the rear end and just, you know, turn him around. Earlier in the race, Harvick got passed by Elliott in a part of the track, and Harvick also put the bumper to Elliott again. And I was like, okay, that's probably the end of that, because Harvick put a little bit of a bumper to him, and that's kind of it. They'll move on. And Harvick doesn't move on. He just wrecks the guy. And my biggest issue here is, guys, Kevin Harvick. Oh, wait, he's going to speak right here. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. He's going to speak. I missed it. What did he say? Oh, now Elliott's going to speak. Okay, hold on, guys. Okay, so apparently all Harvick said was, you remember Bristol, and Elliott said that he hopes Harvick and his team have a Merry off-season and a happy Christmas or something, or a happy off-season and a Merry Christmas, something like that.
As far as Kevin goes, just want to wish them a a merry off season and a happy Christmas.
So yeah, that's that. And like for Elliott, that's what he has to do, right? You're still in contention to win a championship. I'm pretty sure he's like 6th right now as they head into the final round, like 2 points behind on points. Essentially, if you want to make the final round, just win a race. That's usually the easiest way to do it. But yeah, that's over for those two guys now. So let's talk about it. Harvick says you remember Bristol. Okay, let's talk about it. So Harvick, like, I'm speaking about this completely objectively, guys. Like, I'm just looking at the facts here. Harvick and Elliott are racing for the lead. What happens? Harvick puts Elliott into the wall, cuts his tire. Elliott goes from 2nd to, I don't know, like 3 laps down, 25th. All right. So what does Elliott do in that Bristol race? He comes out in front of Harvick, passes Harvick, and then just sits in front of him. Didn't touch him. He just sits in front of him at a little bit of a distance. Get the dirty air rolling. Kyle Larson passes Harvick. Harvick finishes, I think it was either 2nd or 3rd. I think he finished 3rd. Okay. So that was what happened at Bristol. Okay. Then we come here. So actually, let's just take Bristol in its own situation. So Elliott loses 25 spots. He goes down 3 laps. He gets a tire cut down. Harvick loses 2 spots, and he lost a win, but he still advances. Okay, so all right, we take those facts. And then we come over to here. Elliott passes Harvick clean. Harvick puts a bumper to him. Elliott passes Harvick clean. Harvick then wrecks him. Do you see where it doesn't add up? At no point did Elliott ever actually wreck Harvick. It never happened. Let's go back even farther. Let's go to Darlington. At Darlington, Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott were racing each other. Harvick, I think, I'm pretty sure Harvick cut his tire again. He put Elliott in a certain situation and cut the tire. Or I might be wrong. It was a different race. I remember there was a different race. So actually, no, that's not a fact because I don't know about it. But I remember Elliott and Harvick having some sort of beef, something about that. But just going back to Bristol, let's forget everything I just said because that wasn't factual. Just going back to Bristol. That situation, I thought it was kind of resolved there, and then they talk about it. It's not resolved, and then Harvick goes ahead and wrecks Elliott again, or not for the first time, like an actual wreck, and he says, "You remember Bristol," but it doesn't equate. The equation isn't equal. The cost of the actions are not equal. It's technically 3-1 to Harvick. How does this work? How is the behavior making sense? This is a 50-year-old man. He's not 50 yet, but essentially, he's essentially a 50-year-old man acting like a child. I don't understand it. I don't get the thought process of anything. I don't get the strategy. If you're trying to win a championship, why are you wrecking a championship contender on purpose while you still have to make it, and it's only the round of 12? I don't understand the concept of this. I don't understand his logic. I don't understand why he would do it. I don't understand from a point of revenge. There is no revenge necessarily to get. And now so essentially what he said was, "You remember Bristol?" He can't say anything else. He looks like a dumbass. He can't do anything else. If he wrecks Elliott again, I mean, at this point, NASCAR would have to be like, dude, what is even going on at this point? There is no correlate. Like, it's, you know, as Elliott said, it's just, you know, that's it. It's done. And I don't know. We've seen this side of Harvick when he was younger, but I thought, for God's sake, this dude's almost 50. He's a veteran in the series. Like, how is this? None of it makes sense. It all seems totally illogical, and it's just frustrating because I thought he would be smarter than that. And essentially, he looks like an idiot. He then, the way Harvick crashes out, Elliott miraculously got back to the lead. Now, I was walking my dog back and forth in the middle of the race. There was one situation, Elliott's rear bumper cover came off the car. And NASCAR has this thing where if the rear bumper cover is dangling or like hanging on, they usually black flag you. And I was walking the dog, but from what I was reading on Twitter, Elliott's rear bumper cover was dangling for a few laps. So yes, in that situation, NASCAR should have black flagged him. The bumper cover flies off. It causes a debris caution. Elliott stays on the lead lap, and that's how he's able to get, you know, a few more positions. Why NASCAR didn't throw the call or didn't black flag the 9 is something I'm actually really interested in, because they usually always black flag those cars. So for the conspiracy theorists out there, yeah, you can make a argument there, because I don't, on NASCAR's part, your job as race control is to make sure the race is flowing smooth and there's no, like, you have it flies off the car and it happened for a few laps apparently. So yeah, that was a little bit, that Chase got away with that. The 9 team got away with it. It's the golden boy. I think, honestly, I don't like wearing a tinfoil hat. I don't like going into conspiracy theories. But yeah, I can see it. Really, if it is anyone else, you're getting black flagged. When it is everyone else, we've always seen in those situations, if there is a piece hanging off a car for multiple laps, you get black flagged. So why was the 9 not black flagged? That's something NASCAR race control has to answer. Fast forward to when Harvick wrecks. Elliott is behind Harvick. For the first time is when Harvick can actually see Elliott in the mirror, and Elliott's actually pretty far back. Elliott was not going to drive up 4 car lengths and destroy him, and also destroy whoever was on the outside who was not involved in it. That was not going to happen. And then Harvick locks up the brakes and goes straight. Totals the car. So Elliott hit the intimidator button. I don't know if Harvick was looking in the mirror and got scared or, you know, crapped his pants or whatever happened, but that's karma. Everything that happened to Harvick today is karma. He's not enough of a man after the race to explain anything. He just says, remember Bristol. He acts like a hard hat, doesn't get in any confrontations, doesn't own up for his mistakes, doesn't explain any of his reasonings. Like I said, it's a 50-year-old man who's acting like a child. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And in a weird way, the 24-year-old or 25-year-old of Chase Elliott looks like the more mature person out of all this, which it's a shame because he's literally half the age. So, yeah. That's the whole situation and my opinion on it, and just really the facts of the situation. I'm kind of at a loss for words. It's very entertaining to watch, but just like, because I'm trying to put my mind in the driver's situation, it just doesn't make sense on Harvick's perspective. So it's over. Elliott should go ahead and try to win the championship. And if Harvick tries to do anything else, I mean, at this point, you lose credibility. You lose respect. You lose a lot of things. I mean, I think he has lost a little bit of respect from other guys, but you do it for a third time, then at that point, it's like you're just a baby. It's essentially what it's going on. So we'll see how that plays out in the final few races. Kyle Larson, I want to talk about him. He eventually does win the race, but I actually thought for a second there in the middle of the race, he had alternator issues. They had put a alternator bolt. I am not a car guy, so I don't really know what that means, but he had to put an alternator bolt, or the team had to do that on the car. Fights his way back, wins the race. I'm very excited. I hope to see Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson make the Final Four. I don't want to see them battle it out in a one-race championship. We would have an all-time great championship battle right now if it was between those two in a different points format. But I just hope, for God's sake, that both of those two are able to make it. It will be a little bit tougher for Hamlin. Larson is very far ahead in points. For Hamlin, he hasn't won a lot, so he's not up there yet. But I'm hoping that they both make it in. You know, one of them win a race at the next 3 racetracks, the other 2 fill in, and I want to see the battle between Hamlin and Larson, and then obviously whoever the other 2 are left in the battle. The guys who got eliminated: Kevin Harvick, Christopher Bell, Kevin Harvick, Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman, William Byron. William Byron had a chance. Essentially, his own teammate kind of screwed him when Elliott's bumper cover flew off. Byron had a large lead. He was in the driver's seat. You know these races aren't going to go green the whole way, but it just played out where then Byron got in a little bit of trouble strategically. Got hit by Tyler Reddick heading the chicane, lost spots. He also made a mistake himself by overdriving some corners. Yeah, the thing about William Byron I always like to say is that he's fast, but the racecraft is just not there yet. You can just tell. Compared to Larson, compared to Denny Hamlin, compared to like a Kyle Busch, Truex, Chase Elliott. You know, these guys have really good racecraft. Which means they're able to consistently do the same thing over and over and maximize the car. William Byron's fast, but I don't think the racecraft is quite there yet. It does come over time. I think if he just keeps working at it and gains a little bit more confidence, I think it will come. Max Verstappen in Formula 1 had very similar issues. He was very fast when he was super young. He had a lot of racecraft problems. As he matures, you know, the fast kind of comes in, it gets consistent, and then we move on. So I'm interested to see what William Byron does in the future. He had a chance to win, didn't win. Alex Bowman had battery issues the whole day. Christopher Bell was nowhere to be seen. Kevin Harvick was doing some shenanigan stuff and basically ended his own championship run. The guys who advanced: Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr. I'm trying to do this off the top of my head. Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney. I'm missing one more. Damn it. I'm missing it. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle, did I miss Kyle Busch? Wait, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney. I got it. 8. I got it. I got it, guys. Whew. I was missing Kyle Busch. That was the one. So those are the 8 that advance. We have Texas coming up. We have Martinsville coming up. And we have, what's the third track? Kansas? I don't even know what the third track is. I'm not watching Texas. We all know that. Guys, I'm going to end it there. Just a crazy race. Did I miss it? I probably missed a lot. But we all know the main storylines coming out of this one. It was crazy. It was hectic. Very confusing. Very entertaining. The ROVAL is arguably one of NASCAR's best decisions in recent years. It always provides a crazy product, especially as an elimination race in the round of 12. I really enjoy it. It's chaotic, it's hectic, it's insane, it's entertainment. And yeah, that's what it is. Is it fair sometimes? Not really, but it is entertainment. And we advance. So I will see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Comment down below with what you think of the Harvick Elliott incident. What do you think of Larson fighting his way back and even winning a race where he had a lot of trouble throughout the whole thing? And yeah, you know, Ryan Blaney had a quiet race. I didn't talk about him at all, and yet he just, you know, good job, Ryan Blaney, for, you know, minding your own business and just doing what you gotta do. Genuinely, did Ryan Blaney get any TV coverage? Like, what did that dude do? He did nothing. What a guy. You gotta love Ryan Blaney. He's just the guy everyone loves. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.